Hello, in this tutorial I will show you how to simulate the new hair curves using the old hair particle system by transferring the simulation data from one to the other. We have to use the old hair particle system for the simulation part because the native support for simulating the new hair curves is still being worked on. You can check the development progress on projects.blender.org. I prepared a simple scene with a Suzanne monkey with a new hair curve object on it. On the hair object, I have a few geometry nodes that add child hairs to the guide hairs, which I will disable for now for better clarity. The first step is to convert the new hair object to the old hair particle system. To do that, we select the hair curve object, go into Sculpt mode, open the Curve drop-down menu and select the Convert to Particle System operator. Now the Suzanne object has hair particles and we can disable the hair curve object in the viewport. I'm not sure why, but in my case the conversion isn't perfectly aligned with the original, so you need to check for any intersections between the hair particles and the hair emitter. In my case, the hairs intersected with the ears. To fix that, I will go into Particle Edit mode and move the hairs around the ears. Make sure to only move the hairs, since if you delete them, the conversion back to the original won't work correctly. Now that we have prepared the hair particles, we can set up the hair dynamics, or in other words, the hair simulation. As you will see when I enable the hair dynamics checkbox, set up the cast settings, and bake the simulation, the hairs start to move but don't collide with the head. To fix that, we need to add the collision effector to the head and set the thickness outer to the lowest possible value because we're working with real life scale. We also need to adjust the collision distance to realistic values in the hair particles. Now, when we bake the simulation, we have proper collision, but we can see that the hair droops down too much. In order to fix that, we need to adjust the mass and the stiffness of the hair particles. We will also increase the substeps for better simulation quality. Now, when we rebake the simulation, it is perfect. In the final step, we export an Alembic file of the hair particle simulation and use the Mesh Sequence Cache modifier to import it into the new hair curve object. Firstly, we select the Suzanne object. Go under File, Export, Alembic, and tweak our export settings. We need to make sure our frame range is correct, and we can also disable the unnecessary data. Once we do that, we click Export Alembic to export it. Now we can disable the hair particles, select the hair curve object, and add the Mesh Sequence Cache modifier to it. On the Mesh Sequence Cache modifier, we open the Alembic file we prepared earlier, and now our new hair curves have the same simulation as the old hair particle system. In my case, I had to move the file Sequence Cache modifier before the geometry nodes that were used to generate child hairs. If we would now make any changes to our hairstyle, we can use the Convert to Particle System operator and it will update the hair particles. This will reintroduce the intersection problem, which we fixed the same way as we did the first time. After that, we can rebake the simulation, re-export it as an Alembic file and reload the file in the Mesh Sequence Cache modifier. I hope this video helped you out and thank you for your attention.